because that's what a real fan does. A real fan doesn't just yes man their way through every situation. A real fan has to be a no dude sometimes. Shinee don't need a whole bunch of yes men all around them. They need some no dudes around them sometimes too. Hi, hello, I'm Bonbon. Nice to meet you. Yes, honey, we have to talk about it. I wouldn't be a true fan. I would not be a true Shawu if I just skipped right on past this. Oh no, we not do that here. Now, before I jump into what I'm gonna say, because I'm gonna be very clear, I'm gonna be very concise, and I said what I said. I would like to remind everybody that I too am a super Shawu. I mean, I got my merch. Thank you, best friend. My screen shaver is Johnny. I got his sweater. I got all kind of shiny merch. Most importantly, I got them tatted on my chest. So don't even come at me talking about you ain't no real fan. You ain't no real fan, cause bitch. Now that that's out the way. They messed up. They messed up. First of all, Shinee just started their is it Perfect Illumination tour in Japan, Shinee World 6. And you know, congratulations to them. I bet you it's going off without a hitch. I've seen a little bit of clips, I've seen a little bit of pictures, and it looks like it's going really nice. Now, unfortunately, Onu is not back with the crew just yet. He's still recuperating. And actually, I haven't really heard much from him. I saw a while back that he attended a wedding for a friend, and he looked okay, you know, he looked like he was doing all right. So, you know, he's continuing to put his health first, and that's what we need him to do. So, you know, well wishes to everybody, and I hope everything goes the way that it needs to. That being said, people are human, and they say things that are not right sometimes. Now, they have apologized, and let's just talk about that whole situation. So on one of their little snippet shows, I don't even know what it's about. I guess they were advertising something. It looked like they were about to start advertising some sort of reality show starring Shinee, something like that. And they were on the bed and they was all kikiing, and they said, I think Taemin said, why don't we all do something that the members want to do, or one of the members wants to do that the other members don't necessarily want to do, but they have to do it with them. So Minho was like, okay, boom. I want my members to go golfing with me. Please go golfing with me. Immediately, Taemin says, oh, but you've been out there getting dark as hell. Like, I'm summarizing, okay? These aren't his exact words. I'm sure I have the picture up somewhere, but he was saying, you've gotten so tan, you've gotten so dark out there spending all that time in the sun. Key pickup, talking about, oh yeah, Minho, why do you look like that? You close your eyes and your mouth and I can't see you in the dark no more. I gotta feel around for you. They was hemming and hawing, kicking, all that. Now Minho did laugh with them too. But what we don't know if it's just like a laugh along, like, you know, when you're getting roasted by the friends or by your family or whatever, and they're roasting you and you got to kind of laugh along with them, because if you get emotional, oh God, oh, it's coming worse. So you just laugh it off. You play it off, whatever. It could have been that, or he may have just not actually been that bothered. We don't know. You know why? Because we're not Minho. So that goes out. They say this in 4K. And it goes out to the people, and it was not well received. Now I want to put a pin in it right here. From what I'm seeing online, it looks like there are many a Shawu that happen to think that this is Black Americans doing. Now I'm here to tell you, by and large, we are pretty used to colorist comments from the homeland where we're at to everywhere else. We see that it's everywhere. But for some reason, when something happens and people speak out against it, everybody always thinks it's us. Now, I'm gonna tell you, in a lot of the spaces that I am in, because I'm gay, we talked about it, but we didn't at these people. We didn't send it to SM or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna tell you what it's like right now. A lot of the people that reached out and said, hey, that's wild talk, it wasn't us. Some of us, yes. Now don't get on here and be like, oh, I saw it. Okay, some of us, yes, probably, but I feel like the grand majority was other ethnicities. And kudos, because right is right and wrong is wrong. But for some reason, it is always saddled on us. Now, I say that because there were a lot of shawoos that were saying, oh, well, you know, the foreigners and the Black Americans, they just need to mind their business. Shinee's not bad. Shinee's not Shinee's not colorism. Shinee's not this. They're not that. Whatever. You need to just get over it. And if you love the skin that you're in, this shouldn't offend you. That little part right there is what was really interesting. I'm gonna tell you why that's a silly ass statement. That little bit right there. You can love everything about yourself, from the width of your nose to the color of your skin, to the way your hair grows out of your head, to the body that you're in. You can love everything about it, and someone can say something that's going to be hurtful. That doesn't mean that you love anything about yourself less, that you are suddenly not sure about yourself. It means that somebody said something offensive and it hurts you. Do not conflate the two. It's a wild ass statement, and I feel like whoever said that was probably young, and they just don't have the ability yet to understand that words mean things. It's okay, because I'm here to help you today. Now, I really want to zero in on the fact that we do not know these men. We do not know these men. You do not know these men. We have a basic understanding of what they have shown us on the TV screen or the computer screen, phone screen, whatever you're watching them from. Whatever they choose to show to the public is what we know of them. So we do tend to know that they are gentle, that they are kind, that they are friendly, and that they are very well spoken of when it comes to their peers and people in the industry and that they work with and whatnot. We can pretty much give them an A+ in all areas, but they are still people and they are still fallible. And sometimes they may say or do something that's not very kosher, not very cash money. Now, it is my understanding, because people got to talking, that this is something that they have said and done before when it comes to colorist talking, okay? Somebody said that this is not their first offense in that area, that this is something that kind of happens, and we know that it happens in K-pop in general, okay? We know that this is a global thing. It is what it is. Let me put a pin in this real quick. Colorism and racism are two different things. And I see a lot of people online, a lot of shawoos, conflating the two. They are not, okay? Let me explain this to you. Racism is when you put one ethnicity above others. You think that they're better than. You think others are lower than, okay? That's racism. Colorism is when you prefer light skin over darker skin, okay? And that's not an ethnicity or nationality basis. That is anybody that is light versus anybody that's dark. Okay? And darkness and lightness has a spectrum. It changes based on the location you're in. Okay? Because what is light skin and dark skin to Korea, very different from what is light skin and dark skin in America, in Europe, in Africa. Okay? Keep that in mind. So, Taemin and Key poking fun at Minho's skin color when he was tan, when he was out there. Was he in Milan or something? He was outside. The man was outside this summer. Oh, he was outside, honey. And he tanned up as anybody would. And they start poking fun at that. Mind you, he was only about a good 2 shades darker than Taemin in that little moment, but I digress. Regardless of the fact that if you like it or not, that is colorism. Now, I do not think that they were trying to be malicious towards him. I do not think that they were trying to hurt him, make him feel less than. Okay? But there's a difference between intention and impact. Okay? We do not know how Minho feels about this. He's been pretty quiet this whole time, which is fine. He doesn't really have to say anything, all right? Everything that's said has been said. He may have understood that it was just a joke and he didn't think anything of it. Which is fine, okay? It might have just been a joke for all of them, but the problem is you said it out loud in 4K. And that broadcast to the world who have very different opinions. So intention is they were joking around with a friend. Impact, a lot of fans were hurt by this. Why? Well, their audience isn't just Korea anymore. So, while jokes like this in Korea may not necessarily be harmful, that's not always the case everywhere else. Okay? So, I will say this. I have heard that when it comes to Korean society, they have their beauty preferences. They do not then place on other ethnicities and nationalities because it's not Korean. Okay? That the long and short of that is just because they're teasing Minho for having tan skin at the moment does not then mean that they would turn around and look at me and say that there was something wrong with my skin. Okay. Fine. It's some strange math, but fine. I'm acknowledging it right here that that's what I've heard and that might be the case. Okay? However, impact is people who are either the same complexion as Minho or darker, or in my case, much darker, or also in my case, people who are much darker than me are looking at their fave saying, wow, you're so dark. If you close your eyes and close your mouth and the lights are off, I'm not going to be able to find you. That's not their intention. But that was the impact. So yes, it was incredibly appropriate for SM to put out a statement. Granted, like it was a very PR, oh, we're so sorry, and our artists didn't mean it, and we will go into our corners of reflection, blah, blah, blah. Key put out a similar statement or whatever. Taemin put out a similar statement or what have you. Fine. At this point, it is behoove me to even go past the point and not acknowledging that at least they apologize, because usually they won't say nothing. Usually it's just in the wind and y'all will get over it sometime. But they made sure to say something. Why? Because that's who Shinee is. They don't want to purposefully or accidentally hurt their fans. And this was a moment where they thoughtlessly and accidentally hurt some fans. Now granted, it wasn't towards us. it was towards Minho. But intent versus impact, okay? The other thing here is Shinee took accountability, okay? They put out a statement from the label. They put out individual statements, although PR to hell, at least it's out there. Taemin then, I guess, got on Bubble a couple more times to say that he's sorry, that he didn't mean for this to turn into what it did, and that he's going to reflect and go do better and all that. Okay, so he keeps talking about it, right? Which says to me that he really means it. That he didn't mean to hurt his friend, if he did, and he didn't mean to hurt anybody else outside of that, which he did. Sometimes people mess up, and when that happens, you take accountability. And they did, which is good. But there are people out there that are upset that they took accountability, and that's the weird part. Like, Shinee shouldn't have to apologize. Shinee's not this, Shinee's not that. We know that they're not, but again, we do not actually know these people. We can speculate what their intentions were and was not. We can speculate how Minho might have felt about this, but we do not know them. None of us got on the phone with Minho and said, hey, are you okay? Are you good? Because we do not know them. Now, I'm assuming that they're fine, that their friendship dynamic, their brotherhood is fine, okay? But it is good that they took accountability for this. And maybe it'll help other people to take accountability when things happen. People mess up. We're human. Everybody's human. You're not going to be perfect 100% of the time. And when that happens, it's uncomfortable. Hate to be wrong. I hate to be wrong. Ooh, but it happens. And sometimes you have to say, damn, it's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. And you have to apologize. I think this is just one of those situations where sometimes your fae fucks up. It happens. But they did acknowledge the situation, took accountability for this situation, and apologized for the situation. And that's what makes Shinee such a stellar group, because there are so many out there, I won't name names, who have just said things, done things that many of people called them out about and said this is not cool. And they didn't acknowledge it, they didn't take accountability, and they didn't apologize. So I'm hoping this is going to be a little bit of a learning opportunity for the fans in this way of sometimes things that happen don't offend you, has nothing to do with you, but it does offend and hurt somebody else. And it's not on you to get on here with your little Twitter fingers. It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate because there's a whole lot of things that do not hurt other people out there, but it do hurt you. And you don't want your feelings invalidated, right? Now I'm gonna say, I'm a little disappointed in some Shawus, because I thought we were better than this. We are such a calm, collected society of people. There are some fandoms out there that just go above and beyond in the worst way possible. And I've seen some of that in some of these shows, and I'm shocked. I'm like, we do not do this. Shinee would be so embarrassed. Putting your cape on to go be Captain Save-A-Ho in every situation is not necessary. Not only is it not necessary, but it's weird, okay? Because again, at the end of the day, we do not know them. They do not know us. It doesn't matter how much we love them, how much we adore them, how much they mean to us. At the end of the day, they are people over here, and we are people over here. And those lines don't really cross, okay? So, just keep that in mind. It is fine to prop our faves up, but when something happens and they are wrong, you have to step back and say, okay, yeah, they was wrong. Because that's what a real fan does. A real fan doesn't just yes man their way through every situation. A real fan has to be a no dude sometimes. Shinee don't need a whole bunch of yes men all around them. They need some no dudes around them sometimes too. This is one of those moments. All right? That's all I wanted to say on the situation. Of course, I still love them down boots. That's not changing, but it does make me feel like, oof, don't do that. I, of course, will still be doing all kinds of Shinee content on my channel. And of course, I am wishing them so well on their tour, and everything in me wants them to come to the United States. I don't think they will, but if they do, I'm gonna be present. But as a real fan, you have to call a spade a spade. And as always, may you see with a million eyes.